And welcome back to the WGL EU Season 5 Match Week 8. We are getting ready for game number 2. A bit of a one-sided victory there for Virtus Pro in just seconds past. But DTQ against WASD Gaming could actually go a little differently.
Yeah, it could. I'm very much looking forward to this match, not just because it could be a little bit more fair, but also because it means a lot. WASD Gaming wants to be getting themselves at top 6 position, and DTQ wants to be avoiding being automatically relegated as we do head towards that later part of the season.
A lot to be looked at here, a lot to be looking forward to. And guys at home, if you do want to get involved, the man himself can take us through it quickly, get it done.
Very quickly, we're going to run it through on all of the platforms that you can contact us. Go over to Twitter, hashtag WGLEU. We've had some fantastic questions headed towards Ollie. We've also had some predictions for both games. So do go over towards Twitter especially and get that hashtag rolling, WGLEU. Talking of the hashtag, we've had some contributions already. Someone actually saying 5-3, still expecting that one to go in favour of DTQ. So, I mean,
DTQ,
exactly.
really?
There's a little bit of surprise on the desk. So we do have a bit of either side, but still, you guys expecting a fairer game overall, you'd say?
I think it's got potential to be closer, but I still feel WSD Gaming might just spiral this one out of control and take away from DTQ. They've shown potential, don't get me wrong. They are certainly a talented bunch, but WSD Gaming have a purpose, they have a focus here, and I think that might just push them a little bit further. Yeah,
and if we look at historical purposes, historical outlets, historical history stuff.
Back again to historical outlets? What is it when Alex is here? It goes to historical outlets.
It's just like really old plugs.
It's persona.
British Home Store, basically.
But if you look at Season 4, for instance, WSD Gaming is one of those teams that kind of starts off a little bit slow and then just gets better and better and better. So I think we might even see a better WSD Gaming than we saw against School Bus in this round against DTQ.
It's a big statement to be making. We'll have to wait and see if that does come through. They are just testing things out right now, making sure everything is ready to get underway. And looking at these two lineups, a lot to be said for WSD Gaming. A bit of a melting pot of talent there coming through. Various lineups from the last season thrown into one, and they've started to really turn up. However, for DTQ, there's one man that you can't avoid, and you're going to have to say his name. Dr.
Lapatus. Dr. Lapatus.
Close enough.
I don't know. Doctor's good enough.
Yep.
That covers it.
Let's be serious here. He made a huge difference for them in that previous playday.
Yeah, he's doing well for sure. DTQ, they've had a couple of shaky rounds, but they have been getting better. I mean, they lost their last round, but still, I still think they could put the fight to WSD Gaming at this point. Our first map will be Himmelsdorf. DTQ will be on the attack. And then our second map will be Prokhorovka. WSD Gaming will be on the attack. So we get to see both sides of the coin there for sure. I think this round is going to really set the pace and potentially even the winner. I mean, I've never been a fan of WSD Gaming on Himmelsdorf. I think they struggled against Virtus Pro in their first match day. They only won 2 out of 4 of the last matches they had on this one. So I know this is going to be a real defining map.
We'll have to wait and see if they can really pull through that A game, as you said. A lot to be defined off this one. But Alex, if people wanted to maybe catch up on some of those older Himmelsdorf games, where can they go to do so?
Well, of course, the YouTube channel is a great resource. If you want to improve your games, of course, Aaron Eagleheart's still in chat asking those questions. You can go over to the YouTube channel and see how the pros do it. Thousands of hours to you guys to get your teeth into and start improving your own game as well as catching the pros in doing them, improving theirs, I should say. And also, guys, I have to highlight it one more time. I know you're going to be sick and tired of hearing it, but of course, I have to apologise. I'm not Melly. People are asking, wait, where's Melly? This isn't Melly. Just going to be filling in for today. I'm, of course, Alex Machine Richardson, and I do some casting elsewhere on ESL, but I'm here now just to plug that Twitter as much as I can, because we've got some fantastic responses. Actually, we have a Virtus Pro fan, a little bit late to the party, but it's still worth highlighting. We had a Brian Niddleton saying, strong start from Virtus Pro. Keep it up, guys, as the league progresses. And I mean, obviously a big fan.
I like that. I like that a lot. Glory hunting fans, always good.
Glory hunting fans.
Just go with the top one.
It's just like Arsenal. You know what I mean? I used to hate people who spoiled Arsenal.
So my dad was an Arsenal fan. And every time I see him, I just hang my head in shame.
It's just terrible, isn't it, when you're related to them as well?
Just like leave the room.
Yeah. Alex, who do you support?
My family supports, and I shall of course support because of my family's Manchester United.
Even worse.
Yeah, I'm about to say, it's not getting better.
Sorry. The space suddenly feels more uncomfortable.
Just bring back Melly, please.
I have to support them, you know. When your family supports them,
enough.
you support them.
Yeah.
Okay,
it's like that was like guy in school which went to like Old Trafford when they were like 2 and like, yeah, that's why I'm a Manchester United supporter. Yeah, right.
I went close to it once on a train,
Yeah,
so
exactly.
therefore...
I saw it.
I'm there. Anyway,
Favorite colour's red.
close enough. Go for Liverpool, Manchester, Arsenal.
Exactly.
Many a teams to pick from, but go for
True.
the best one
Yeah.
at the time, obviously. But that aside, I believe these teams are getting themselves ready and into the server. So get those real dedicated and detailed thoughts through to us on Twitter. Hashtag WGLEU. If Alex didn't say it enough, I'm going to say it again. And just make sure you do it. We love hearing from you guys. It always keeps us kind of on our toes and enjoying what you guys think about the upcoming match. Because these two, if you're already supporting DTQ, I'm not sure if I agree with them. I think I'm going for the WSD Gaming here. You may have mentioned, though, that Himmelsdorf, not a brilliant map for WSD Gaming. I have to wait and see if they can pull it out of the bag here. However, they will be starting in the north on defense, so a nice, gentle start to this one. But in the south on the attack, DTQ are going to have to bring out the A game.
And DTQ's lineup, not too unusual. Double IS, double 51, DTQ, WSD Gaming, double IS, double 5100, triple 5100, double IS3. So a lot of firepower there. I like to see the teams use those two ISs. I think they can provide a lot of damage and speed. You can see immediately that's what they're taking advantage of, pushing down south. But Mr. Chef with that early spot is a great move from them. And they have caught WSD Gaming out by surprise. A couple of shells from those ISs coming down, but none connecting onto him so far. 8-line push from DTQ. And also the hill being used again. It looks like team has taken a leaf out of Dream Leprechaun's book and has picked up some sort of tank destroyer. And let's see how that one works out. I believe that's the ISU 152.
It'd be good to switch over to Doctor just to check that one out if we can. I'm kind of curious as to what he's really running with in this 505 Cluj and Panzer. There we go. You are correct, I believe. What do we make of this? Something I may be wrong, but I don't think we've seen this before.
No, we haven't seen it. I think we might have. I don't think we've ever seen it in the league. We might have done, but I'm pretty sure we haven't. I mean,
I'm sure this used to be used in, you know, the old shootouts in WGLNA.
Yeah, it was.
I think that was the tank they may have utilised, but in the EU League, we've never seen it.
No, we haven't. I mean, good tank all round. BL9, 750 average damage, 268 penetration with the normal ammo. It can do a lot, 14.5 second reload, good camo value. But at the end of the day, it has literally no HP, and it's kind of one of those glass cannons where you make one shot and you're dead. So Doctor's got to hit those shells. Nicholas Black caught out in the middle there, but he is playing a KV5, so it should be all right. Cap underway, and so far, so good for DTQ.
Yeah, DTQ always trying to push those tactics, change it up, switch it up, and push the boundaries. And at the moment, it's working out quite well for them. However, WC Gaming waiting for this push now. DeKilzer and Hacky around the south. And 5 tanks await to retake. But we've seen enough caps now going too far. They're going to have to make a move soon and stop this one in its tracks. However, that shell did come through from, I believe, Doctor. It did not connect. So a bit of a blow there for these guys. But 4 seconds left. Finally, the reset does come in. But this is quite close. But the overmatch drastically in WC Gaming's favour.
The thing is, DTQ aren't really doing any damage at this point. I mean, that ISU missed. The KV5's also not doing much. And that's really given WSD Gaming the edge as they push in.
Yeah, the overmatch towards that D-line may be in DTQ's favour, but the real important factor is how much they're losing here. Mischief can come around from the backside and try and support, but he's getting very little damage done here as the rest of his team just fall like flies, and it's gone so bad for DTQ at the moment. They're still trying to pull things together. Panzer Hunter coming in every now and then, but it's not looking good at all.
They're still in this game as Nervex receives a big shell from that ISU, the BL9 coming into effect, but still, I think WSD Gaming just about is sticking in here, though. They do level it up, actually. I think DTQ has one more tank alive. Yes, it is. It is 7, but still, let's see if Honor can take down Panzer Hunter. He should be able to do that as he comes off reload in that MX 5100. Yeah,
that shell will come out, and Honor does find it in the end of the kill. So still alive in this one, though. Keeping Mr. Chef on his toes, trying to hunt him down. It's more of a nuisance than anything to try and buy time to allow 505 to reload. Not going to probably get it, but to Killzor's turret, not actually facing Mr. Chef. And Mr. Chef is going for this one, and he might just about be able to pull it off. No, gets taken down by the Killzor. Not enough shells available in the end. And the Killzor, Honor, and Killerpit holding on here, but Doctor's still alive.
Oh, nice shot there from DeKilzor. You know, not a great play from the MX 5100. As the side of that tank doesn't have any armor, and with the SA-47 you can penetrate even if you side scrape. So Doctor, the only one remaining, I believe he could potentially still do this. I mean, he needs to hit 3 shells. He can one-shot easily those 3 tanks. BL9,
Well,
not a great aiming time, but still, he can manage.
let's see what he can do here. Killer Pit. First up, great shot coming through. Gonna turn turret, get it. 1 down, 2 to go. 2 minutes and 22 seconds. The option of running will become available soon to WSD Gaming. Another shot comes out from Honor. He can't turn in time. He goes down and Doctor hitting 3K, but it's not enough. WSD Gaming picking up the win.
But one of the highest damage rounds we've ever seen from a tank, and you've got to remember, he missed that first shell. So 3,075 damage from his team. Is just fantastic. It happened to be that Killer Pit did 3,100 damage in that IS3, but you can kind of get an idea. 3,000 damage from Doctor in that ISU 152, 1.7k from the KV3, but then 900, 920, 900, 800, 600. You know, it kind of falls off very quickly, whereas WSD Gaming, you got Killer Pit doing 3.1k, and then you got 2 tanks at about 1.5 to 1.8k damage, so it kind of adds up mathematically.
But what do we make of it in play practically? Did it serve its purpose there?
It
or
did.
was it the elephant in the room? Was there anything that could replace it? Did it be too centralized in the tactic? Take it into depth, because it's something brand new.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, WSD Gaming got quite lucky at the beginning, because when they pushed around that corner, I think like 3 shells just got absorbed, got bounced. I think it could have been a completely different game if the ISU had penetrated, if that KV and the KV5 could have penetrated at the beginning. But they didn't, and that gave WSD Gaming the win, I think. And that's pretty much typical DTQ. They don't make their shots when they need to. But I think the ISU was a great idea. I mean, it has great camo value. Probably also had the camo net, so it could sit back, make the shots without getting spotted. And in that specific tactic, it worked really well. And it shows you that if you think outside the box, you can come up with these tanks that don't necessarily work in a normal situation, and you can make them work.
Well, it's a shame to see it not fully getting them the win there. That's a shame of it, because it was the correct idea. The execution worked well to an extent.
Sure.
It was just those initial bounces, as you said, that just, or you know,
yeah, I mean,
soak it into
3
the
tanks.
tracks.
You got to see 3 tanks with 330 damage HP at the end.
That could have been.
I mean, they did a minimum 1.5k damage in that initial volley with those 3 shells. So it was easy win for DTQ if they managed to hit them.
That's just the way the cookie crumbles, sadly, sometimes. However, it's enough to allow WSD Gaming to pick up that initial round. DTQ, though, showing some real potential there. And once again, I feel as though if they had this sort of creativity at the start of this season, we might have seen them slightly further up here. And it's just that final closing out of the rounds they sometimes miss. But they do show more potential than most, a more creative strategy than most out there currently. They've been trying so many new things, different artilleries, and just really having that universal tool almost of Doctor there. He can just completely add any element they want to. And I've got to say it, I think that tactic would work just as well against your Virtus Pros or your, you know, school buses. It doesn't really matter about who you're playing, because you're dictating the pace, which I like. So hopefully going into round number 2, maybe they try it again, maybe they find a way to make it work, and just hope those initial shells actually penetrate and connect what they deserve. However, it's down to the teams. I think we're just waiting on the final couple of tanks to be picked up by DTQ.
Yep.
Obviously a lot to be discussed there. They're a team that likes to try new things. They will be looking to switch their lineup up. And what other options do you think they could bring in on an attack on Himmelsdorf?
Well, it looks like they're bringing 2 110s and an FE304. Still waiting for Nicholas Black to come in, but I think he's going to be playing an IS3 because that FE304 is, of course, tier 6. So kind of looking at that school bus style, Evil Panel Squad also tried it, but it only worked for school bus because they knew exactly how to play it. Evil Panel Squad didn't, and the other team countered it. So we all, of course, have to wait if DTQ make this work, but I think WSD Gaming is enough of a thinking man's team that they'll be able to, you know, go aggressive at the beginning like they often do, even without artillery on the other side, and just catch those guys early on.
I'm looking forward to it. And if people want to get involved on Twitter, how can they do so? Has there been any predictions so far?
Yeah, we've got an abundance of predictions actually raining in. You guys really contributing. Obviously, that pushing of the hashtag, you guys have listened, and we've got some fantastic responses and also some questions, but we'll save that until the end of this game. We have Christo saying, I think that WASD will win 5-2 against DTQ. I think DTQ aren't going to repeat their amazing performance against Schoolbus. And of course, we saw that last time, and it was an amazing game from DTQ, and I think that's probably where we're kind of seeing this prediction, this kind of favouring towards DTQ. Again, we saw Nico again quite quickly. I'll just say it would be fun if DTQ could do another surprise 5-0 win, but I think WSD will win 5-2. And 5-2, it's seen across the board. Lots of people feeling that WSD are going to be taking this one.
Well, it's a good opinion to have so far if you're in the WSD Gaming boot camp at least, as they are leading with 1 round to start off with. However, that creativity, that difference, that real push and edge that came out from DTQ may change things up. But take me through what you think DTQ may be doing here. A bit of a unique lineup, something a little different. Where are they going to take this?
You can see that WSD Gaming is doing the predictable thing. They've seen artillery on the other team and they're pushing down the 1 to 3 line, hopefully catching a team out, catching a tank out. But DTQ has predicted this perfectly. They're expecting WSD Gaming to do that, and they're pushing up the 8 line unspotted, other tanks onto the hill, including the artillery. I mean, the artillery will be absolutely fantastic on the hill. It's got great arc, great rate of fire, decent enough damage when you use the heat ammo. So it could potentially do 300 damage per shot, and that'll certainly start to wear away at WSD Gaming's overall hit points. Now heading off the hill, that's the 2 110s, playing those 2 tanks because they want plenty of front armor. And honestly, I do say at this point in time that DTQ could potentially just roll into A5,
Full
A6,
cap.
roll into the cap, use those 5100s in A7, D7, as a kind of a barrier between the rest of WSD Gaming and the capping tanks, and I think it could be game over.
And I love how cute this little the artillery looks next to the others. I'm not going to lie to you, it's adorable. However, it's also damn fast.
Funny thing is, it's actually pretty damn big in real life.
Yeah, when you actually go to these places and you get to see some of the tanks in person, it's like, oh, that's not what I expected.
Yeah.
Gigantic things. However, it looks adorable on the map right now, but it might not be looking so adorable for WSD Gaming if they don't get back to the north pretty damn fast, because, well, so far, DTQ have that cap underway. Mr. Chef will get a cheeky little position there.
Oh,
that
nice.
could really change this one up.
Really, really nice play from him. He's going to stop those 3 tanks from pushing through it, and now it's a game of those 2 5100s down south. I think that T32 might fall from WSD Gaming in the middle. That's the Killzor playing that one.
Beautiful.
Caught out in the center.
Absolutely beautiful crossfire. Kluge and 505 shell between each other. Finally take him down. Back-to-back hits coming through there. 10 seconds on the cap. Now the 5100s behind them may slow them down, but it's all about timing. And now 5 seconds remain. This could be going DTQ's way if they can buy the time. You can see the artillery letting a shell fly, and it looks as though DTQ have held on just about long enough to pick up this victory.
Perfect play from DTQ. That's what I like to see. Just logical stuff from them, and just catching WSD Gaming where they want them.
It was great.
And they expected what WSD Gaming did, because they've seen how teams react. They've seen how aggressive WSD Gaming is down that 1 to 3 line without artillery.
Added in,
they predict it, and then they have the perfect counter with the 110s and the F3 up the 1 line.
Absolutely beautiful. I love that. As we said, DTQ, such a creative team who are happy to try new things, creative strategies that others may not quite yet use. And this is what I wanted to see at the start of the season. You know, when we first had this new game mode coming, I'm thinking some of these strats might be quite cheesy, but I can't wait to see the counter and the counter and all this kind of back and forwards. And DTQ, surprisingly, being one of the main teams to really show us this. The first strategy, I think unlucky is what I'm going to use. It may be slightly on the edge term, but I think they were slightly unlucky in that by not picking up that round 1. They did a lot of damage. They basically did everything right except getting those first 3 shells to connect. You know, it happens. But round number 2 was absolutely perfect. And I say it once again, round number 1, it would work regardless of who you're against. And the same thing with round number 2. Assuming that the other team will read into that artillery as much as WSD Gaming do, you'll see it over and over again. Beautiful stuff. And guys, that's a VOD you'll want to watch back. That's a moment you'll want to check out on YouTube. So WGLAU for that one. Give it some time, obviously, for it to be uploaded. But that's something I want to look back on and just see how perfectly it all fell into place.
It was fantastic stuff, and that's World of Tanks 101. I'm 100% sure if you guys go out into team battles and you do head out and manage to kind of perform that tactic, it'll work against all the teams you see out there. As long as you coordinate properly, you get your guys on the comms, it should be all good. But WS Gaming now lost a defending round, not particularly good. Now on Himmelsdorf, they all now have the chance to go on attack. I do prefer WSD Gaming on the attack, though. I think they can be a little bit more aggressive, and I think they have more fun with it. So this could be dangerous. Of course, DTQ can slow it down. They can judge the pace of the game. They can dictate the pace of the game in a lot of respects. They could be a dangerous tool here as well. But I think as a team, you kind of know what to do when you're defending, but when you're attacking, you have to kind of make your own things up as you go along.
And maybe that is the strength, as you said, for WSD Gaming there. They can be a little bit more fluid. They can, create the situations that they play in on the attacking side, which I'm looking to see them really do. They're a team with great leadership, great talent. We need to see that come into the forefront. You guys at home, your thoughts were DTQ at the start, your slight bias, your tendencies were with them, and maybe it's starting to come through, and I'm certainly looking forward to seeing what they can bring maybe on the attacking sides later on. However, it's a game of halves, and it's all about picking up that second half when they have to defend as well. So another big factor into that is how well they play when they have to play standard, when they can't depend on these slightly out there tactics, when they have to bring it back to your basic tanks.
Yep.
How well do they perform? Do they have enough on par with WSD Gaming, let's say, to be able to compete there?
I think that's the main problem, actually. I think DTQ is not a team that runs out of tactics. I think they're a team that runs out of ability in those situations. Their coordination sometimes goes askew. Their individual player ability sometimes goes askew. I mean, we saw Bernergy on Muravanka just not really knowing what to do and kind of being like a deer in the headlights. And that's not what you'll see from a Virtus Pro or a Kazna crew or a school bus of old. Let's see how they do in the next matchup. But you need to have that level. I mean, that tactic won them the game, not their necessarily the individual player ability. And I think you need to get the first before you have the second, and then we'll see a very dangerous DTQ indeed. But lineups are locked in for at least for WSD Gaming. This is there on the attacking side, an IS, double IS, double IS3, double 5100. So again, a very heavy lineup from them. We're still waiting for the tier 6, which one they'll be picking out there. And for DTQ, T29, double 5100, T49, KV3, still waiting for one of their players to join in before we do lock that one down. It looks like Fluky is going to join us.
Well, we'll have to see how he slots into this lineup. Alex, how's Twitch chat looking so far? I guess they're starting to see the first couple of rounds catching up. There is a small delay to you guys at home, so the teams can't obviously watch the game live as it goes down. It needs to be fair. But how's it going so far? Does it look as though people are surprised by DTQ's lineups? What are they seeing so far?
Overall, we're just seeing a generic kind of fan. A bit of lenience. I don't know if the word bias is going to come out, but we do see a lot of fans heading towards WASD now. I think as soon as people realised that we weren't seeing the DTQ that bested School Bus in that unbelievable result previously, which of course you can check out on YouTube, guys, youtube.com/WGLEU. Had to think about that for a second.
It's complicated.
Very complicated, yeah, indeed.
Five characters, too hard.
Five very complicated characters. Come on, give me that. Lots of people in chat asking for codes, guys. I will reiterate now for you. Of course, the mods have been doing it, but I will just once again say that no codes in this stream. But do sit back, relax, kick your feet up, and enjoy World of Tanks action. We're just waiting on one more member, and before we do, guys, we'll once again highlight the WGLEU hashtag. We're seeing some fantastic a bit of analysis actually coming out from a few people. We're even seeing, I predict a clear victory for hashtag Team Lauren. So people really pushing that hashtag. I've got some support though, Team Alex.
Is it a thing now?
That's a thing now.
God damn it.
Some WGL NA guys behind me.
Simple Tankers, is it those
That's
ones?
them, yeah.
Simple tankers.
Much love to you. Still no Team Ollie.
I know.
No support.
No Team Ollie. What is this? I feel neglected in this situation. I mean, Team Alex, Team Ellie, Team Lauren.
There's just no team for Ollie. So where are you? I know there's some viewers out there who are
Team Intelligence,
Team Ollie, Team Intelligence,
Team Calm.
That's a stretch.
Team Awesome, I think we should call us. Team Awesome. Hashtag Team Awesome for me.
Hashtag Team Awesome.
This is why you don't have a team. This stuff right here.
Why?
You called yourself Team Awesome.
Yeah, because it is awesome.
No,
what are you?
I'm Team Lauren.
Team
you know how
Team
all of us.
Sucky.
You know how all of us use our names? You're just like, Team Awesome.
Team Awesome.
Yeah.
It's the way to go, man. It's the way to go.
Alrighty, guys. So once again, on Twitter, if they want to get involved, is there anywhere else they can go?
Yep, of course. Other than Twitter, we do have our Facebook page, and you can find that at facebook.com/WGLEU. You'll be able to talk to us there, even message us if you have problems with the codes. I think a couple of you are still waiting for your codes, which we'll be getting to you as soon as possible. Actually, a question from Scarnox, maybe for you to mull over, depending on when this game does kick off. He's asking, any stats or thoughts for the most used tank during Clan Wars, all in all?
To be fair, I haven't played Clan Wars for like 2 years, so I wouldn't really be able to comment fairly.
Okay, fair enough. We did actually see a response from Lamp saying the RU251. I don't know where I stand on that. But other than that, we actually are going to be seeing a bit of a football talk going on, as well as Dave Tomley saying going for 4-5, but which way? Least mistakes will win. Other than the WSD bonus, that's another side to the story then from David.
Yeah, it certainly is. That it does come down to both these teams being maybe new in design. WSD Gaming was a collective of, several other teams have kind of gelled into one in a way coming into the season.
Yep.
And DTQ maybe themselves also being fairly new with, newer additions, or at least with Doctor coming in as well. So mistakes will happen to a degree. As well-rounded as DTQ are, there will always be player error, maybe coming into effect. As you said, their biggest downfall is the fact that sometimes their players aren't quite up to par when it comes down to just, very basic. So I think it's a good point. I think so far we're seeing quite a well-rounded collective from everyone involved, and we'll have to keep our eyes on that one going forward. And if you guys see any of those mistakes, make sure to point them out, because, backseat gaming is what it's all about here. Just hashtag WGLEU. Let them know if they've done something wrong, and you can probably become one of our analysts, like Team Awesome to the left of me.
Thank you very much.
No worries, but the teams are getting themselves ready. So get those thoughts through to us, get those predictions in. We'll finally be able to see WSD Gaming on the attacking side, and how well will DTQ survive on that defense? Will they have that same creative edge? Will they have to boil it back down into the basic tanks, which worries us both?
Yeah, it's going to be the big question. It always is a big question on Himmelsdorf. Do you have that basic ability? I know Team Awesome does, but does Deep Tranquility, as they are starting to make their way over towards that left side? I think that's really where they'll be sitting predominantly now on the defensive angle of this map, whilst WSD Gaming, of course, switch over to the offensive side, all heading up the hill. I mean, we've seen this hill play over and over again in kind of match day, let's say match day 4 to match day 8, which we're now in. But we haven't seen all tanks up here, and it does speak volumes about the lineup WSD Gaming has got. They've gone for a lot of heavy tanks. They got the ISs and they got the IS3s, of course the 5100s in there. A lot of these teams, they're picking, for instance, a Bulldog to kind of roam around the map when they're up here. That's certainly what Deep Tranquility did with Mr. Chef.
Yeah, and I like this. It's obviously Gaming bringing out a little bit of their own, but look at that T49 straight running, and a T49 on Himmelsdorf.
Yeah, not something we've seen before. I guess it can
It's
work.
Doctor just being crazy. I'm pretty sure he just does his own picks. Like, you guys do what you want, I'm going to take something.
Yeah, but I guess the problem with the T49 on this map is that, well, first of all, you have to contend with a lot of armor, and the thing is about that HE ammo, it only really works because it's against AMX 1390s and 251s. But when you have to contend with IS3s and ISs, then you have to switch to heat ammo, which has only got 710 damage. Quite a lot still, but in my opinion, I think an IS, 390 average damage does a better job all around. We'll of course have to see. I mean, Doctor's on the hill very, very quickly. That's the benefit of that T49. And if it does come behind and surprise with that HE, it can penetrate the back of an IS, can potentially penetrate the back of an IS3.
The Dead Zone, just waiting. He could be the first target, and it's a strange game so far we're seeing. Crazy stuff coming out from DTQ that I love seeing. So much creativity, so much of new edge, but can they actually keep up with this? It's all good and well being creative, but to what degree do you have to really come back down? Doctor does receive a little bit of damage there coming up from that 5100. He's in a little bit of trouble, but he does have a fairly maneuverable tank. It can get out of dodge if it needs to, and just keeping Dead Zone busy. Great
work by the Dead Zone. I mean, I think Deep Tranquility expected all of the tanks to kind of head over the hill and down and not leave an AMX 5100 there, but great stuff. And clearly WSD Gaming are thinking about it. They're thinking about DTQ's lineup and what they can do with it. Panzer Hunter going fairly low in that KV3. You can penetrate the turret of that tank. It is pretty good, but still easily penetrable by the BL9. Some bouncing, but it looks like WSD Gaming are starting to head forwards. Agorni going first.
And I'm looking to see how this one comes through. Look at the 5100 and the T49 retracting back in the banana line now. If these guys get there in time, this could really equal out. WSD Gaming are leading so far, but Kluge, 505, and Doctor now going to crest around that corner. Look for the damage. Killer Pit's going to be first on the chopping board. Shot comes out from Doctor, not going to find its end point. However, they've thwarted the attack for now.
This is actually going very well for Deep Tranquility. They've got WSD Gaming kind of pincered and split up. Those 5100s on the hill are kind of useless for the next 20 seconds, and they might just be able to push around and finish off Gorny and Hacky.
They completely isolated Hacky and Agorni there. They're going to be able to overmatch completely, get them down. Mr. Chef waiting on shells. Nicholas Black whiffs it a little bit there. He needs to land that one. They're taking too much time here now, but finally 505, I believe, comes through, and they've split them up. They've worked them down. They manipulated the opponents into what they wanted, but now they need to come up with the goods. They've got to sustain that damage and close this game out.
Well, they need to just reverse. They had the advantage, but they've kind of given it away. They've let Malzert and Panzer Hunter die unnecessarily. 505's also taken a lot. I think Deep Tranquility got confused about what role they're playing on this map for a few seconds, then pushing forwards and giving the advantage now to WSD Gaming. You can see the HP sliding in favor. Of course, now we'll see those 5100s, once they off reload, Honor and the dead zone, go up 20 to 30 seconds for that. Come off and then maybe potentially even finish the Deep Tranquility off here, but Cluj from the side.
Cluj, great position as well, going to get free pickings on towards the kills, or for at least 2 shells there. 586, there we go, takes him down. But Nervax on a lot of HP could be the one to challenge here, but keeping pretty much DTQ in the game now, fairly close on HP here. 505 very low. If he can stay in the game and just keep those shots coming in when necessary and actually being able to do a lot of damage while still slightly outplaced. Those IS-3s are being folded into by the 5100s any second now.
Yeah, they're off reload and they try to distract with Nervax down there, but they're not. He is managing to get some good shells onto the back of Mr. Chef. A low roll, but Nicholas Black and Mr. Chef could be in trouble as they do peak.
Certainly could be, but they've got to get out of the crosshairs of Nervax. Mr. Chef does go down, but here comes the cavalry. Cluj comes in, gets one, needs another, gets it. Now 2v2. 505 on nothing. Cluj on 752. This can still be done. One shell to make. Killer Pit.
Where's Nervax?
Killer Pit. This could go very wrong. Oh, Killer Pit, great cover watching it. Nervax is near on full HP here. He should be the one leading this, but...
Look at that time, 1 minute and 40.
Oh, I don't know if Cluj can get up this hill in time. Can he get to cover?
He can get to cover because,
okay.
I mean, it's the 2 IS-3s. They're pretty slow.
Yeah.
I think they might have enough time to cap. That's the last option from WSD Gaming because 505 is so far down south, basically running away and grouping up with his teammate Cluj. I think he should just head up that 8 line instead, as a cap has begun by these two. Nervax is going to have to do a good job here. Killer Pit's down to a 1-shot as well. So at the end of the day, the question is, does WSD Gaming have what it takes to stay alive?
Cluj is on reload. This is going to be so close here. He's going to come off reload maybe around the 20-second marker, I guess, if that.
50-second reload on that MX-5100, I don't know.
That's a long reload. I don't know if he's going to have time for this. And 505 so far away, they could have just won this by purely capping out at that time, and Cluj just maybe not expecting it. This is so just mistimed by DTQ here. Cluj knows it as well. I don't think he's got time for this.
No, I mean, also they're both 1-shot, so it's not like they can take a shell. They've really got to risk everything and hope that Nervax into kills or peak too much.
Is there an angle from
and
here?
take some damage? No, there's no angle from here. You can't shoot them. Nervax to kills or knows that, and they got themselves into the situation they're expecting. Nervax expecting it from the south, but he's not. He's coming from the north. 2 seconds left.
2 seconds left. Cluj needs to land this now. He does get it just. Oh my word! Just about getting it in time. And I don't think they've got enough time left to cap this out now. They don't. They've done it. Cluj has just done something phenomenal. Oh my god, 505 can finally run away. The time is too short. That 1 shot, it was 1 second's worth.
Oh, and also 505 could have got shot by Nervax on the hill, but he doesn't manage to connect it, and DTQ, well, winning a second round. That's what happens when you clutch, boys.
1 second
Fame and
clutch.
glory.
Literally 1 second clutch.
Less than 1 second. It was 0.
It literally was
just didn't have the
0.
explanation mark.
Jesus Christ, how much are they kicking themselves for that as well? You know what I mean? Like, but still, as beautifully played. I don't know if he expected to be able to clutch it in a 0.1 second moment there with that reload.
No.
He did still have that 1 shot to make. I'm surprised he didn't just stick with it and just hope, to roll in on that point. But, if it's down to him, it's his prerogative. And it worked out. DTQ. And I think we need to take it back from that kind of clutch moment because it was great, but it wasn't the winning factor in this. Well, it was, but it wasn't the main factor of the game. And they almost lost it as well at one point. So take me through the kind of highs and lows here from DTQ's point of view and how it really beat WSD Gaming.
It was really, really well done from there. They're the 5100s down to take out the IS-3, and they did good initial damage, but they pushed too far forwards. But you can see this clutch. Nervax expecting the tanks to come from the A and B line, but they're not. He's coming from the other angle. Does manage to hit it. Cluj also with a moving shot on the sides, hits Nervax track, and managed to reset, of course, with a little bit of damage. But as I said before, I mean, this game could have been won a lot smoother by Deep Tranquility if they didn't push when they got the advantage. I think they should have retracted back and stayed safe, because when they did push forwards, they received about 2k damage unnecessarily, and it kind of gave WSD Gaming a way back into the game. But definitely a deserved round by DTQ, bring the scoreline in favor to them, 2-1.
Absolutely brilliant stuff from DTQ. This is the team that just constantly surprises me. I loved how they played that, completely manipulating the opponent into doing what they wanted, being able to isolate 2 to 3 of them, take them down, fold onto the rest. Everything perfect. And the T49 didn't really make much of a point of it because it was so...
No.
It was a strange one at the start. But what do we make of it overall? Do we like it, or is it just in that one tactic it had a place?
I don't think it did much then. It died pretty early, and I honestly think an IS would have definitely made it a little bit easier for DTQ to actually push forwards. But what it did do is distract the dead zone on the hill in that 5100, which kind of allowed those other 5100s from DTQ to push up the late 8 line with a little bit more headroom, a little bit more easiness. But still, at the moment, it's surprising WGL Gaming are going down. And I hope for them that they can keep their heads into this match, because I don't think they expected to be in this position when they first started.
No, and what we were saying at the start is this is such a big game for WSD Gaming. This will secure them their spot in the offline finals, pretty much. This would be the win they need to feel safe. Let's put it that way. They get to a marker where it's highly unlikely, no matter the rest of the results, that then they'd be out of the top 6. It's their safety game. And right now, they're being pushed to their limits. 2-1 to DTQ. DTQ pulling out a stunning performance in battle number 3. However, we are into battle number 4. WSD Gaming now in the south in red on the attack. Probably shaken to the core from that lovely bit of play from DTQ. And what is in stow this time? Look at it. T49 again in play. This is a little crazy. And there's some weird tank choices here.
It's almost a mirror of what happened last time. WSD Gaming not willing to give up what they were doing, pushing up the hill with all their tanks. DTQ sending Doctor down south in at T49. And I think for WSD Gaming, they're thinking, if we do the same thing twice, we could really make this one work. But look, the perfect counter from DTQ's coming out. They put Mr. Chef and Kluge around the corner, expecting a push from the hill from WSD Gaming, but the dead zone just with a drive-by spots Mr. Chef. And, well, no damage going towards WSD Gaming, but DTQ with the better positions now.
Here we go, expecting it, working it out. Mr. Chef, 505, Kluge, all there, waiting. I hope they don't give away. Mr. Chef does kind of...
Just going for it anyway.
They're just rolling into this. Is this a mistake, or is this backing away? I don't know.
Depends how much damage Malza and Panzerhunter do on this on the cross. But if they just simply overmatch DTQ, it could go well for them. No damage, just 4, and DTQ get off the hill at the perfect time, but still could get caught out.
Oh, it's going to be a massive factor here. A lot of tanks in one place, going to make it hard, but Mr. Chef staying just about alive. No! Gets caught on the corner, goes down in the end. And maybe DTQ not expecting this much of a presence this early on.
No, WSD Gaming just brute forcing their way into this game, and so far got a big advantage with that AMX 5100 going down. Hacky, though, receiving a lot of shells, also falls.
505 getting a little low here, and maybe brute force has done enough. Just Agorni, though, taking a lot on the cross here. 505 gets caught out by the dead zone, and 505 has no shells to make. He knows it. He's literally a sitting duck in this one, and this looks like a swift dispatching of by WSD Gaming.
Yeah, as they push around. Kluge also in a bad position thanks to the dead zone, who's doing in this game fantastic work. Will finish off Kluge, and well, that makes it a big advantage for WSD Gaming. Still with all 6 tanks alive, only 1 dead, and that's Hacky in that IS, so not really a big deal. But Dr. Laptors, let's see what he can do in this T49.
Let's see. Tries to dodge one, catches it. Honor in his way. And I think he knows he's... Oh, look at that damage, though. It's stunning. Absolutely stunning. I love this tank so much. But I think he knows he's in trouble, but actually... stays alive and gets one down for it.
917 damage. That's
a
kind of
big roll.
business you want to do, and that T49 definitely can be part of Team Awesome. But still, it's WSD Gaming in the lead. Only a 5100 falling. At the moment, DTQ just doing the best they can to hold off WSD. But the dead zone now comes off reload and fall Nicholas Black in from behind.
Nicholas Black being caught here, down pretty darn low. Does get 1 back, but 2 for 8 HP, swiftly removed by the dead zone. Now Panzerhunter and Mouths, the last 2 alive. Hefty tanks, but how long can they last?
I want to see how much damage the dead zone's done this battle, because he's been fantastic. Panzerhunter does fall, leaving only Malza in that tier 7 T29 alive. He will be able to do some work, but surely not enough to take down 5 remaining tanks from WSD Gaming.
No, certainly not. He's backed into a corner. Nothing to do but die in these situations. And it surely will be tied up at 2-2 here. WSD Gaming just taking that last round as, you know, a little bit of an insult and just going to roll out and absolutely crush DTQ that time.
Yeah, but it was just DTQ losing their nerf. If they'd stayed on the hill and they stayed peeking around that corner, they would have been doing good initial damage, because the thing is, when you're on top of a hill, with these tanks, it's quite steep. You can't actually have the gun depression to shoot those tanks. So for them to go over, they would have to receive 3 or 4 shells, giving DTQ the advantage. And then as long as they rotate at the right time, it should be fine. But they lost their nerve. They also decided to just go for the safety run, where they just go straight through instead of turning left. And WSD were going like, well, let's just brute force this through.
And it's a shame, because it's surprising to see Mr. Chef being one of those tanks to actually back away very early on. He was, you know, normally quite the vocal member of this team. He used to play the role of what maybe Doctor now picked up to allow him that real focus on leading the team. But he was one of the first tanks to back out of that situation. Maybe, as you said, doubting themselves a little bit here, and now the scoreline being pretty much all square, all even in a way.
Sure.
What do we make of it?
I think DTQ is certainly on form right now. They're fighting for everything they can, and I think it's going to put the test to Prokhorovka, which will be our next map. And having a quick talk about this map before we do go to a break, Prokhorovka hasn't really been played by WSD Gaming for a long time, so we're not really sure what to expect. DTQ's got a little bit more experience, but they've only won 1 out of the last 4 rounds on this map. So honestly, I have no idea what to expect from the WSD Gaming boys. Prokhorovka by DTQ, I think, is going to be just their normal style, but also we haven't seen a lot from them on this map, so this could throw up all sorts of new interesting things.
I'm looking forward to it, but you guys at home seem to be looking forward to it as well. Alex, it's going a bit crazy now after DTQ suddenly arrived.
Yeah, I mean, you guys, of course, because there is a very slight delay, we're kind of getting the Twitch and Twitter fallout after that previous surprise from DTQ. Wow, that was nice from Kameni saying, and wow from Dave saying, wow, on such small margins, a battle's won, full of mistakes, but a great match to watch. And it's obviously going to continue to be a great match, of course, with them now being level heads. We'll see as the game does progress, and we're going to be going to a very short break, though, guys. We'll be seeing you so very shortly, about 5 minutes between this and the next game. We'll see you then.
Welcome back to the WGLEU. We are halfway into the final game of the day between DTQ and WASD Gaming, and so far it's been an absolute cracker. Not what we expected. DTQ bringing out pretty much everything they've got so far, and now we're going into map number 2.
Yeah, and this is actually the map where we could see the team with the better tactical prowess actually take the lead. And we have to admit that's been DTQ so far. They've reacted perfectly and they've predicted perfectly to what WSD Gaming has thrown them in this matchup. Now, I like what DTQ has done previously. They've done well on this map. We have to see how it works this time round. They've gone for double AMX 1390, 251, T69 x 2 and T32 alongside the AMX 13 F3. And for WSD Gaming, looks like 3 251s, a T37 and AMX 1390 in honor with that final 251. So WSD Gaming, no artillery, just going for that pure brute force with a lot of combat tanks.
Surprising, because DTQ did quite nicely with the artillery with them before. Maybe went too far with the Lorraine, but found like a nice balance in the end with what they like to play with. Surprised we're not seeing it, but maybe they'll look at that later into this game, use it as a viable option. If you're going to put your money now on this map, where are you going?
I haven't seen WSD Gaming play this map. I thought DTQ against Kazna Crew. DTQ actually had a couple of good rounds on this one. As you mentioned, the AMX 13 did actually win them that one with like 2.4k damage. That was against Kazna Crew. And that was where DTQ is starting now on the defensive side. So obviously they're trying to go back to what they know. And, it's only a tier 6, so you don't really sacrifice that much with it. As you said, if they do pick up a Lorraine, then you got to start questioning it. RT is a little bit too random, whereas an AMX 1390 or 251 is definitely not as random. Yeah. So, you get this balance right, and if you do, then you can definitely hit the nail on the head. But I like what WSD Gaming is doing with those 251s. I mean, it's very simplistic, and it kind of works in favor of this map, but it can also go very badly wrong when you're, bouncing shells on the sides of those T49s with their big tracks.
Wait, so Panzer Hunter's playing? What is Panzer Hunter playing right now?
Panzer Hunter's playing the MX 13 F3.
Okay.
Which is strange because Doctor did fantastically last time with it. But a little bit of initial damage onto Nicholas Black, actually.
This looks like a repeat of what we saw before. First round in, Nicholas Black gets caught out. Second round, they actually learn how to stop him doing that. They put a T69 with him last time, I believe. One shot, Hacky's going to find it, and already the advantage to WSD Gaming, but there's a lot of damage received for this.
Derton actually taking a gamble there. He didn't shoot because he didn't want to be spotted, but he was spotted anyway. But they have taken down the T32, but you can still see the damage is pretty much even because of the amount they received for it, but they have taken the right side for the track. So apart from Kluji playing that AMX 1390 as they do start to enter the cap, and that's where the AMX 13 F3 will start working its way into this battle and start having to hit those shells. And I'm kind of surprised that WSD Gaming has really neglected that middle area. I guess Hacky is trying to resolve that a little bit by staying there. But it looks like WSD Gaming aren't going for that cap. They're seeing Kluji on its own. They want to take him down as quickly as possible. It's onto Dr. Tour that kills it.
Yeah, it kills all that. Getting some good damage. Kluji's being called out by Agorni. In between a rock and a hard place here. And one shell would have done it, boys, but both of them deliver. And at the moment, WSD Gaming just about staying in this one with numbers, but the HP fairly even. Quite curious so far, but Mal's getting melted there. Down. Up in the north, should I say.
He also got tracked and taken down. And
this is just going so wrong for DTQ. It looks like WSD Gaming knew exactly what they wanted to do here.
Yeah, they're peeking and they're being tracked and they're being taken down and leaving tanks on their own as well, unsupported. Just didn't work out for Deep Tranquility. I knew what they tried to do. As Hacky receives a big shell there from the MX 13 F3, 1.1k I believe. So at least it's going well for them. And 505 Mr. Chef might be able to work with that, but still a lot of tanks remain. I mean, Killer Pit's still on 100% HP and keeping the pressure onto Mr. Chef as he does fall.
WSD Gaming giving us a masterclass into this map here, looking like they want to make a point out of this one. And not seeing much from Panzer Hunter just yet. Doesn't get the shell he needed. He's going to go down, and now just 2 remain. 505, the last man alive. And tracked, held, and put to bed. WSD Gaming maintaining every single member of their team and completely acing everyone else.
Yeah, I think that was more errors from DTQ than it was good play by WSD Gaming, although I like what WSD Gaming did in terms of seeing where the errors were on DTQ and exploiting them.
Yeah, and how didn't Hunter perform? Didn't get much time to really shine.
He did the best. I mean, 1.5k damage. Good work from him, and his normal artillery player for DTQ. 947 played by T69. That's Dr. Leptus. So both those two played well.
Yeah. I'm surprised that once again DTQ got called out by this sort of play, though.
Sure.
Nicholas Black last time went down first. He often gets called out like this. It seems like not a reoccurring effect, but he often does get in these situations. Last time they put a T69 with him to support him, is that going to be an option here, or maybe just not putting him in that spot?
They just shouldn't put him there. He's going to get taken down. I mean, it was pretty obvious that WSD Gaming were just going to keep quite a lot of their team aimed towards where the tanks were going to peak from DTQ.
Yep.
See that AMX 3090 on its own, put the Bulldog and put an AMX 3090 on it, take him down, get those 2 tier 8 tank advantages, and then they could play out from there. But I mean, the big play from WSD Gaming, of course, was taking down that T32, as you mentioned, and then taking down the AMX 3090 Kluge next. So, you know, if for WSD Gaming, they were just simply thinking, okay, the T32 is just going to get better throughout the game. So while we can find it from the front, let's do that. Let's not let it go into the middle where it'll be great hull down. And that's what they did, and they did it successfully. Despite taking a lot of damage, they could get the tank advantage and the positional advantage.
Well, I want to see how DTQ now adapt. They generally win when they lead the pace. However, they don't get to lead the pace in this one. It is WSD Gaming kind of dragging them around the map. I want to see if they can change it, switch it up, bring out something new. Use that hashtag and let us know what you think maybe they need to do differently. Hashtag WGLEU. Thoughts, predictions. How are you enjoying the show so far? Hashtag Team Awesome. I don't mind. Just put it in there and speak to us with it. You know, we absolutely love hearing
Team
you.
Awesome.
Stop it. Did you just do like the
hashtag? Am I just not cool enough to do that?
That's horrible.
Is it? I've seen it on the internet before. I think it's cool. Hashtag, you know, it's like a hashtag. Is it? Yeah, it's hashtag. Hashtag's not cool anyway. Whoever came up with hashtag is just not cool.
No?
No. I think it should be like a £sign or $. Be a little cooler.
Alrighty. Ollie's gone off on
Twitter.
Hashtag Team Awesome. 10 out of 10. Focused up. But anyway, hopefully DTQ's a little more focused than Team Awesome, because they're going to be going into a tough situation now. WSD Gaming have taken the lead at a 3-2 scoreline, but you can still change around here. Let's see if they can get match point in this half. I think WSD Gaming have this one kind of starting to look better for them, especially with that beginning. They completely looked above and beyond DTQ. However, DTQ do like to surprise, so let's turn our attention into the game and see exactly how it's going to go down. So up in the north in blue, it will be DTQ. In the south in red, it's WSD Gaming on the attack. And how do we see this one panning out so far?
So WSD Gaming, just going left, catching on to the fact that DTQ hasn't got a T32. Instead, Nicholas Black is playing their IS-3. So they don't really want to contest with that kind of damage at the beginning. So I think they're going to go for the side attack. Haki and Nervax straight away going across the middle. Indeed, pretty much the whole of WSD Gaming are going across the middle, trying to find Deep Tranquility on the side, get some bushes, get some tanks hull down. But so far, only Honor and Nicholas Black have been spotted, and there's not much they can do about Nicholas Black. To be fair, I think this is a better position for Deep Tranquility because they're not having to deal with that initial burst. They also have the right side, and they also have that middle cap locked down.
Well, they certainly do, and Nicholas Black once again out on his own here. IS-3 though, but it does make me worry. The Killzor getting caught very early on here. Gets spotted, gets put down. It's a T-37, so it's not huge, but it's a small advantage, at least for DTQ so far.
Yeah, good. I mean, the kills are falling, as you said, not a massive deal, but it's a good start for them. Certainly a better start for them, and also puts WSD Gaming on the back foot morally in terms of damage, in terms of HP. So great start. 5 of 5 also being in a safe position to take down the kills without receiving any damage is good. But Gorney does go forwards. He's got to stay safe because of the kind of fire Deep Tranquility can rain down. But he has been spotted on the cross. Does just about manage to get safe with only one shell going onto him. And Gorneys will have to retreat a second time. This time Honor goes down.
He does indeed. Maybe DTQ this time playing a little bit better, just being more aware, being more
How's Panzer Hunter, surely?
And he's doing so well, actually. I was a little worried seeing him in here rather than Doctor. But I guess Doctor is supporting him in a way, so they both have that same mentality. But it's going to be hard to catch these guys out. These tanks aren't exactly slow nor static. So if he lands a shell towards WSD Gaming, it'll be very impressive now. Great
play by Panzer Hunter. 755 damage, as you saw. And Honor going down is a massive, massive blow. Nicholas Black, though, they're trying to find him. They're trying to take him out.
And he is out on his own here. Haki receives a little bit, but soaks that damage up. Nicholas Black maybe being a bit of a bait here rather than anything, trying to get these guys to peek out, try and commit, and they'll do the damage while they can. And WSD Gaming are left very low. Hacky down to a one-shot here. Yeah,
Hacky's got to be careful and get out of there. I honestly don't see how WSD Gaming can come back from this kind of hit points deficit and tanks deficit, but they're certainly trying. As you said, Dr. Lapters fell. Kluge and Mr. Chef received a lot of damage as more does head towards Kluge, thanks to some great sniping by the dead zone into some of those bushes. And but that initial push onto Nicholas Black really didn't achieve much. He didn't receive any damage. The side of the IS-3 can not only bounce a lot due to spaced armor, but also due to tracks with the heat ammo being a big disadvantage on that 251, which clearly DTQ are taking advantage of.
Yeah, Nervax making a play up towards the north there, finding Kluge, getting a shell and moving around a little to try and find another spot. Tries to hit one on the run, not going to get it there. And now he might have to commit, and right behind him, those 1390s are going to be getting the spot there, but he commits, only takes one shell for it, but Agoni and Killerpit coming through now.
That was the first big mistake from DTQ, once again putting a tank over towards that left side to try and lock that down, and it obviously didn't work as Kluge does fall. So that's 2 tier 8 tanks for 1. But Deep Tranquility still have the hit points advantage. It's starting to fall as Nicholas Black does peak.
Nicholas Black needs to be on point here as well, bearing in mind he's in a great position now. He's got to make the most of it. Panzer Hunter as well. Still in this one. Killerpit looking for him. Finds Malz. Not exactly who you want here.
Oof.
Oof, that was close, but Agoni now committing. Oh, beautiful covering shot from Mr. Chef there. And now Killerpit moves in, but down to a one-shot. Can Malz find the shot? No, he's on reload, and the timing couldn't be worse.
No, he couldn't. And, well, taking down Panzer Hunter's not a big deal, actually, but still, WSD Gaming find him. They want to maybe start capping since they've done a lot of damage to the IS-3. And it's pretty much an even game. It could go either way. 4 combat tanks alive for DTQ, 4 combat tanks alive for WSD Gaming. But the IS-3, it can one-shot Killerpit, it can one-shot Hacky. And that really can go their way, but does fall to some great work by the Dead Zone and Killerpit. And that's put WSD Gaming firmly back into the driving seat.
Certainly has. Can they keep hold of it, though? 3 tanks remain for DTQ, 4 for WSD Gaming. Make it 3 now. Overcommitment there, maybe a little bit overconfident, I don't know. But now WSD Gaming, bearing in mind they're on the attack here. They've got 1 minute and 55 Hacky.
Huge overcommitment there by the Dead Zone. I mean, he didn't have to peek at all, but, you know, once again, one of their team makes a mistake, the other ones make up for it immediately.
Yeah, Malz now, important player here in that T69, substantial amount of health. Mr. Chef, 376, and I'm not sure where Mr. Chef is. He's finally going to be joining his teammate. Here we go, but he does get caught by Killerpit. Malz caught out a little bit there. Hacky in the background as well. This is still dangerous. They're in one position now.
Yeah, and Hacky actually has his ammo rack destroyed. That's why it's going to double his reload to about 10 seconds. Doesn't matter. Nervax once again making up for his team. Malz potentially has the damage to kill Killerpit and Hacky, but will he be able to deal with the Nervax as well? It's 960 damage that autoloader can make, and he's only got 3 shells to make it. And I think he just about doesn't have enough, so all they have to do is commit at the right time, and WSD Gaming has this one in the bag.
If they go 1 by 1, though, he can still do a lot of work here, and then time becomes a factor, and that's what it's going to be. Killerpit goes down. Bear in mind, WSD Gaming are on the attack here. Malz on defense. Nervax still alive. Hacky still in this. Hacky pushing up towards him. Maybe going to try and bait the shot, turn the turret.
Oh, he's on reload.
The reload. Once again, the timing could not be worse. Hacky will get 3 shots here, and he knows it. Oh, the first one misses. Gets to cover. They're going to realize he's on reload. And Nervax is on reload as well. They're both waiting for shells to be available. Malz will get it.
Both Nervax and Hacky are actually ammo-racked. That's the problem here. Malz could easily take this right now.
20 seconds. He just has to stay alive and hit a shell. He's got finally shells available. 2v1, gets a shot towards Nervax. Fends him off, but can he hold back Hacky as well? Shell just about going to come up now for Hacky. 10 seconds remain. DTQ just need to hold on. Malz needs to hold on. 1 shell comes out from Hacky. 4 seconds left. I think he's just about done enough here. 1 second left. Malz locks it down for DTQ. But that was so close.
Great work from him. He knew he had to reload. He did it, and he committed to it because he knew he didn't have the damage to take down those 3 tanks. It's just math. It was logic. It was a guy performing under pressure, and that's what I like to see from DTQ. 3 versus 1, and he comes away with the win. And that's what happens when 2 of your 251s get ammo-racked, and also you sacrifice Killerpit there to try and get a bit of information. I think Killerpit, he's a great MVP. He's a great damage dealer, but he needs to be a little bit more careful in those situations, because 3 versus 1 would have been a different situation.
Even in a 2v1, you'd expect the 2 players to be able to pick it up, but DTQ just always holding on,
Yep.
And it's always by the skin of their teeth as well. It's unbelievable to watch. Phenomenal play so far from them. I don't know how much more they can keep doing this. How far will WGL Gaming let them do this until it goes the other way around? But that was the attack from WSD Gaming now. Let's put DTQ in those shoes. Do you think DTQ might actually do better now they get to attack? They get that creativity again? Does it work as well in Prokhorovka as it did in the prior map?
They had some mean tactics on Himmelsdorf for an attack, but it's just harder. You know, you need that coordination. You could see DTQ, they kind of covered all their bases with that kind of campy style they had there. And they made a couple of mistakes, and that cost them a round. But that last round, they just had the perseverance to take it through. Now on attack, I think that's going to be harder. And I think DTQ's lack of execution and communication and synergy might actually work against them. But still, I think they have real potential to actually walk away with this round.
And Alex, how are the people at home finding this? Because it's been a bit of a crazy game so far. It's going back and forward. How are they going out there in Twitch chat? Are they keeping up? Are they okay?
They're okay. We are actually seeing a lot of people asking for the score, because they're sat there going, is that the score? DTQ, again and again. People seem to be a bit surprised by DTQ's presence. Actually, we had a great tweet in from Mikey saying, looks like DTQ have turned a page since the SB win and have actually turned up to fight for their place with some awesome tactics. So real credit to them for where it's due for that. And we actually had a great one from Imprezovi Kotek. I apologize if I've butchered pronunciation. I probably have. It says, Mr. Chef's special for today is crispy overburned tank served with oil and gravy. Enjoy your kill, sir. So there's some love being given from Twitter. If you guys want to get involved, of course, get over to the hashtag WGLEU. Other than that, of course, we have our Facebook, which you guys have been active on as well, and that's just facebook.com/WGLEU. And you can go there, of course, not today, but other times you will be able to get codes and various other giveaways. So do go over there, and you'll be able to vote for your MVP as well.
Sounds pretty good.
It's not bad, is it?
Awesome.
Yeah, it's all right. I might do that.
Yeah, get over.
We're not allowed to. We told you
What?
this before. We were caught stealing bonus codes in the past. Not allowed.
She had a
What are we
striped
talking
outfit on and a big bag behind her back. Yeah.
Yeah,
Don't
that
know.
was
It
it.
was Prison Break. That's what it was.
What was it called? It was, McDonald's used to do it. It was the Hamburglar, wasn't it?
That's right.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, yeah, I think it
Oh,
was.
I
I think
didn't
it
know
was. I don't know.
Hamburglar.
There's a contribution to Team Awesome, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Awesome.
Oh, I have seen that.
Yeah,
I've seen
it's
it.
a picture of squirrels with AK-47s on a tank. Hashtag Team Awesome.
Best combination.
There you go. So there's some love to Ollie as well. We've had a lot of kind of Team Lauren. There's a bit of a debacle going on Twitter at the moment between Team Alex and Team Lauren.
All right, we'll fight it out later on. However, the teams are ready. So let's get this one started. 3-3 now being that scoreline. It's going toe-to-toe. These teams aren't letting either get ahead of themselves.
Yeah. T32 pushing into the middle. Greatest Freudian slip I've ever heard, but still we'll carry on. To the right side, most of the side of T-Tranquility go.
I tried really hard.
she tried to carry on, but the realization hit her pretty quickly. But some great shots onto the side from WSD Gaming. It looks like WSD, even on the defensive, want to kind of go for that same style, going aggressive early on, getting some initial damage, and they certainly are hitting them.
Yeah, they really are. So a lot of damage coming through early on. DTQ going down a fair amount. Nicholas Black being quite low. And Mr. Chef.
Though the dead zone just feels the pain of that AMX 13 F3, I believe. I don't know, it's Dr. Laptus in the Lorraine. Doesn't seem like they're listening to any of the criticism from any of the other teams. They have picked up that Lorraine so far, and it's been doing good work against the dead zone.
It has been, but then I think we weighed this up before, that it did do great, but did it outweigh the value of, let's say, picking up, what would you say is the tank you take in its place?
251 on this map.
A 251, for example. So keep that in mind. It may be great for an artillery, but this artillery is costly. It takes a lot out of a team. So the Lorraine going to the position we saw it kind of crumbling before, down towards, I'd say that's around H0. It was playing around there last time. Managed to get there towards the end. However, Cap started. They've got enough to hold on here. There's only 15 seconds left.
15 seconds to go, and WSD Gaming might once again be caught out by a quick capping move, but I think the Killzone might just be in a good position to stop. Oh, he's a bit late to the party, actually, and I honestly don't see how they're going to get this one.
This will be a stunner of a shot. If they do manage, you're going to have to crest and hit in one, but 3 seconds left. I don't think they're going to have the chance for this. No opportunity to be had. Oh my god, Cluj just about being caught by Honor then. This game's still on though. Miles is in this one, and they just need to stay alive. 24 seconds, the cap's still going on, but just to nowhere near the extent. Hacky commits, gets one, goes down, and this has been a bloodbath.
How much have they sacrificed to do that cap though? That's the question. They've received a lot of damage. Malza might fall, but still DTQ, I think they're slightly ahead in terms of how much HP they have.
There we go. 3 tanks moving in. 505 gets a little bit of fire. Gorney's surely going to be called out. He does make it across, and maybe a little bit of questionable choices to be made there. 505 getting a face full of damage, does go down now. Mr. Chef and Panzer Hunter being the last 2 alive. Mr. Chef gets 2 back-to-back. Killer Pit waiting for a shell to be available. But HP Paul, this is surely WSD Gaming's.
This is WSD Gaming's now. Great work as they once again made sure that Deep Tranquility couldn't be aggressive and dispatch them with real calm efficiency there. Great work by DeKillsra and the T-37 at the end, using that hull down tank perfectly. And what a dynamic game. It went back and forwards. And to be fair, they had like 0.1 seconds. And that's the thing, you know. A lot of people say, well, thanks to random, blah, blah, blah. But Deep Tranquility got lucky with that reset on Himmelsdorf.
True, and it's going to come back around.
WSD Gaming gets lucky to get that reset on Prokhorovka. You know, it's karma.
And once again, do we take into account that a cap that quick, is it really complemented by an artillery of that caliber? Because logically, it doesn't seem like it does. I don't know. For me, you know,
it just depends on if the artillery hits the shells. I don't think it was worth it then.
It was very shortly in the game. There's no long game, really, was there?
Yeah, it didn't really do any damage. It did initial good damage at the dead zone, but because it had to retreat on the hill, it took a long time. Kind of made it a little bit useless, but I think it's just the style of DTQ, and to be fair, they simply got fairly unlucky in that round, and WSD Gaming just about got there in time and managed to steal that win. They have removed artillery from this one, though. Looks like they're going back to basics. I think that's the T-49 in its place, played by, of course, Doctor.
Only DTQ would we say T-49 back to basics.
True.
On Prokhorovka.
Yeah, but you know, T-49 they've picked it now on steps. They picked it on Cliff, and Prokhorovka and Himmelsdorf. Yeah,
they're making it viable. I asked if we were going to see it in other maps, and
they're just like, screw it. I don't care what you guys are doing. I'm picking the T-49. We're picking the Lorraine. You know, it's just the way DTQ rolls.
It did them good on Himmelsdorf, so maybe it'll pay dividend here on Prokhorovka. So far, WSD Gaming are leading it now, and they are sitting on. Are they on match point now?
They are on match point, 4-2.
All right, even I started to doubt the scoreline then. It was 4-3.
4-3.
Yes.
Yeah, 4-3.
Yes.
Can't count.
Numbers are
quite
difficult.
hard.
It's been a very close game, though.
It has been really close. I mean, none of our predictions were right. I think we went 4-2.
We absolutely fluffed it up.
Yeah. I think a couple of you guys out there might have said 4-3, so you clearly know more than us. Probably a member of Team Awesome. But, yeah, I mean, we did say, though, DTQ, if they're on form, they can be dangerous. I mean, clearly they were on form against School Bus. They were not quite on form against Kazanakru, and this looks like the DTQ we saw beating School Bus with just ingenious tactics and good plays.
And I think we're seeing the difference in certain teams as to how they respond to out-of-the-box tactics. So, for example, School Bus don't like it. They respond quite badly, as we saw they lost quite significantly. However, WC Gaming, back and forth. I feel they can adapt to a degree themselves. They can still play their own game type. So it's good to see that they're both on fairly even keels in that way, and also very separate in the way they actually handle it. So I enjoy that coming through. A little bit of personality to the teams. WSD Gaming flexible enough that they can always adapt to the situation at hand. But out there in the world of Twitch chat and Twitter, has there been any updates?
We have a lot of guys actually saying, kind of reacting from the previous game. We've got a lot of people saying actually a very nice and close game by DTQ, being cornered like that against 3 enemy tanks, but winning by time is not outstanding. That's from W6. And so there's that kind of criticism of winning by time. Do you feel like that is a kind of a not so satisfactory way of winning?
I think sometimes
it's a logical way of winning.
Valid way of playing.
It's necessary sometimes. When you're on the defense, you got to play it. It's what the game mode allows, and it takes a fairly decent amount of intuition within the game to realize that you have to play it to that time limit sometimes. And without it, let's just remember those 11 draws in Prokhorovka.
Exactly. Just hark your mind back to that one. You see what we suffered through. But yeah, I think you play for time. Yep. You play for what's best at the time.
Yep.
If that means you're going aggressive or if that means you're playing defensive, there's no point throwing rounds because whatever,
Yep. And we are seeing the 416 out and play the M44. Maybe WSD Gaming taking a leaf out of DTQ's book. However, WSD Gaming are on match point 4-3. DTQ going to have to bring this one back. DTQ are on the attack in the south in blue, on the defense up in the north. It's WSD Gaming. What do we make of these lineups?
Well, WSD Gaming is clearly going for a kind of Casna Crew-esque style this time round. You're using a lot of good sniping tanks. You've got the 416 there. I guess that's kind of made up for the fact they actually got T32 and a T69. So they're kind of just saying to themselves, okay, so we got the dead zone in that 416. You got the M63, 320 damage. You can just pummel at good ranges of that one. And then you got Haki, Orgoni, and Nervax, which will kind of struggle at long range, but are great in short range, great hull down. That's where they're playing right now. So dead zone in the back, probably the best sniper, we have to agree, on WSD Gaming, and then those hull down tanks going forward just to stave off Deep Tranquility. And right now, we will see WSD Gaming playing for time.
Smart play as well, bearing in mind they're on the defensive side. They have it all to play for. I like seeing the T32 in there, lots of HP, lots of sustain. And DTQ surely had to expect this to a degree.
Yeah, they might have done, but I think if they did expect it more, they would have picked an artillery, because
True, yeah.
There's a lot of slow tanks on the side of WSD Gaming, and maybe a Lorraine 15551 wouldn't have been an amiss in this situation. That's
a really good point, actually. I'm surprised the one time that it's quite viable, they didn't go for it.
It's just prediction from WSD.
Yeah,
they've said, okay, D Tranquility's not expecting us. Well, they're saying, okay, we've been aggressive every single time in this round in this map. So Deep Tranquility is expecting us to go aggressive again. And also add to that the fact that the artillery hasn't really been working for them. It only worked on that first defensive round. So they're not going to be picking it again. And honestly, with the lineup WSD Gaming has, it's going to be extraordinarily hard for DTQ to come out. But boom, big shell actually landing from Dr. Lapidus on Honor, a whole 1,000 damage from range.
We constantly doubt the tank he picks.
He's on the hill and he's shooting 400 meters away. I mean, Jesus.
Hey, he's making it work.
That nice 1,000 damage number.
Oh, so crisp there as well.
Beautiful.
Right on the nose. 1k damage done by Doctor. And as we said, we doubt this tank on quite the regular occurrence.
He's basically the artillery.
But yeah, he's playing an artillery role here, because why not? However, I don't know how much he can keep this up by. It's quite a rarity. You'll see something do that at that sort of range. As you said, it doesn't complement it perfectly within this lineup at that sort of position. However, you know, if he needs to start doing damage, he certainly has the ability to. But we mentioned earlier, WC Gaming, they're purely playing for time. But Honor taking that amount of damage very, early into this game, it's certainly going to help out.
Yeah, and that's, again, overconfidence by WSD Gaming. Honor's going for those cheeky shots with HE, trying to make it work, not expecting a kind of roll from Dr. Lapidus like that, not only hitting at range, but also doing good damage, and they should. And you shouldn't peek. It's been a fault of WSD Gaming for this round and previous rounds as well. Dr. Lapidus and the whole of DTQ now on the rotate down south. And those T69s might be able to fend them off, but that 251 is kind of on its own. But I think WSD Gaming is in pretty good positions to deal with this.
Let's hope so for their sake. As a push starting to build here. Mr. Chef, 505, Cluj, all heading up now. At VK as well, on the eastern side. The two T69s away, and this will have to be a very crisp execution. Because just waiting ahead will be that 251.
Now going to be
that
spotted.
Timing makes a shell towards maybe Nicholas Black or one of the others, but now he's giving away the game just a touch. He will be spotted, but they're not going for him. They're going to go for that Virtus Pro sweep across the middle. Slightly unique, going to try and catch out Nervex, and they do just that. But Agoni's still alive, but for how long? Takes one shell, and Nervex got ruined.
He got absolutely destroyed, and so did Cluj and Agoni in a second. Haki also falls on that T32. That's all the big brutish tanks out. Now I want to see what that 416 can do in this game, but at the moment it's firmly in the favor of DTQ.
They've taken the advantage, they took the lead, they took the initiative, and they're running with it. The dead zone there getting good damage done, but to what extent? The kills are down to 3 HP. Killer Pit is the artillery, and DTQ once again coming out swinging. This looks like it's going to be 4-4. This looks like we're going to have to go to that final deciding map, surely, at this sort of rate. Panzerman coming in, gets it. Now Killer Pit, last man alive.
Yeah, Killer Pit is only in the artillery as well. Does hit the final shell, but for it, gets destroyed as he was spotted. And DTQ evens it all up, 4-4. And when I thought WSD Gaming were firmly in control of this game, DTQ shows that they're not. And that T49 hitting 2k damage, just unbelievable stuff.
Absolutely beautiful play coming out from those guys there. I don't know what to make of this. Do we know what our deciding map is?
No, I'm not sure. I think
I don't think we even considered it.
I have to look at who had the fastest round here. I think it might have been WSD on. I'm not sure who did the quickest round.
Neither.
It could be either of them, to be fair.
Some of them had
So 2
extraordinarily
options.
quick. Yeah, nice one. It's a 50-50 chance.
50. Yeah, it's the math skills. But yeah, I'm not sure.
No, me neither. This is going to be going down to the
I think
admins
it's Cliff,
to
though. I
decide.
think we'll be moving on to Cliff now.
Okay, so Cliff is a decider.
Yeah.
Something a little different. Doctor in that T49. He's been warmed up
Could
a
be
little bit.
interesting,
You know,
yeah.
he's warmed up by now. I think that could be a good shout.
Yeah.
However, it's down to the teams to get prepared. And Alex, the people at home, they said this was going to be a close one. We didn't believe them. They're coming up right here.
Yep, you're absolutely right. There seems to be a lot of support for DTQ even at the start of this, and as of course the results start raining in, even more people, especially in Twitch chat, you guys are very much backing the underdogs of DTQ. And at 4-4, of course, they're just looking to stand in the way of WSD and securing that place. And actually, we see a tweet in from Dave saying, "Someone get Mal some medical attention. His heart must be going by 10 to the dozen after the play." I think this is obviously a bit delayed due to the delay. But with that one all kind of wrapping up, guys, I have to push you. Predictions going into this final game.
I think you just want to push us.
I mean, I'll push you.
just want to push you.
Push you off the stool.
Yeah, it's
great.
bam.
I'm pretty much falling off it every 2 minutes anyway. Just give me a quick push.
Okay, so shoves aside.
No, okay.
Come on, I'm going to push
When
you.
push comes to shove.
DTQ, looking pretty strong now in 4-4. Where are you seeing this one going?
I just like WSD Gaming on Cliff. I can't argue with that. I mean,
I'm going to argue that DTQ. They're going to take it. Yeah. They have, okay, let's look at the one times, the one-offs where they've gone in for these all-in plays. Himmelsdorf with that crazy tank pick coming out that was unlucky, it lost. Imagine if they picked it up, they would have won this by now.
Yeah.
Second time for asking, they brought out the T49. They've done some crazy stuff when they can go for these all-in plays. They do well. I don't think Prokhorovka allowed them to do it as much as they'd like. I think Cliff might allow it to a degree.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a gamble as well. I mean, how will it play in the South? Will one team go all in like Virtus Pro did? Will one team just put a couple of tanks and get caught out? Like, it's going to be a gamble at the start. If they both go to the middle, then it's just about the better team wins. If they both stay standardly, it's just about the better team wins. But it could go to that gamble as it so often does on Cliff. And then it's not about really the better team winning. It's just about who guesses right. And it's a 50-50 chance there. So it could go either way, honestly.
Good.
But I think track record-wise, WSD Gaming has been pretty good on Cliff.
It has. They have it. That's nice.
It has.
It has.
It has WSD.
Just it thing, them. But no, they have been very good. Alex, prediction? You're the man of the people. You're the voice of the people.
I am the voice of the people, and I'm going to basically put my vote with where Twitch chat's vote is.
Okay.
And that's most definitely firmly for Deep Tranquility. I think they really people want to see them pick this one up. Of course, off the back of the win against School Bus, people called that a fluke. People said, "Oh, School Bus haven't been playing for forever. They're not going to get a surprise result like again." And maybe DTQ could do it. Maybe they can secure that, guys. Let us know where you stand over on Twitter, hashtag WGLEU, even on Facebook if you fancy it with exactly the same. And if you want to be watching this game back, of course, I will plug it one more time. The YouTube. Do head over to youtube.com/WGLEU, and you have to find every single game over there to refresh your memory of some of the more kind of highlightable games throughout the seasons. So do go over there, and we look forward to hearing what you say on Twitter as well. I'll be reading them out throughout the show. And we actually have one interesting comment I have to highlight from Nico Shanna saying, DTQ matches are probably the ones I look forward to most. Fun to see teams that don't just go for the standard tanks and tactics. And I think that's right. In any game, in any esport, when you have those teams that kind of break the meta somewhat, or the first to do that, they're sometimes the trendsetters as the game evolves.
Yeah, hashtag T49 trendsetter. Seriously, it works.
It's true, and everyone's picked it up now. But I want to point out that, bearing in mind, right, the gravity of this situation, because game to game, or round to round, map to map, it seems very close. DTQ are in last position here.
Yeah.
They are literally the bottom of the league, and WSD Gaming are in third. It's phenomenal to see these guys doing this.
It's fantastic work from them.
And they've done that to a team who was also probably in second place at the time. I think School Bus were probably around second or third at that marker. They took them down. If only they'd done this at the start of the season.
I know, but it's live and learn for Deep Tranquility.
I agree.
They're kind of new to the league. They haven't played really that much in previous seasons with only one, and it wasn't in seasons 4.
Yeah.
And I just think they're just getting better and better. Clearly, they found their form. They like to surprise. They're clearly training a lot, so it seems to be going well for them.
Yeah.
I can tell you that DTQ had the quicker round. It was on. I think it was on DTQ. 2 minutes and 40 seconds on Himmelsdorf. Yep. WSD Gaming 2 minutes and 44 seconds on Prokhorovka. So 4 seconds separate the two in terms of the fastest round. So the fastest attacking round gets to choose the side of the map. Now DTQ have gone like you would expect for the attacking side, because typically I think they've done better on the attacking side, and also people say that on Cliff the attacking side is a little bit stronger, so perhaps not so surprising for them.
Okay, something to look forward to. The teams are just getting themselves prepared. So this is your prime opportunity to get onto Twitter. Use that hashtag WGLEU in case Alex didn't say it enough. We're going to say it all the time, isn't that right, Alex?
Yeah, that's right. We've actually got some kind of bit of the fallout now from that 4-4 equaliser on Twitch chat. It's just going wild. Lots of people chanting DTQ. We have someone actually, Janice Shiri, saying, wow, that was a nice play, DTQ. And I think people just really happy to see, like you said already, that top 3 team from, I mean, normally in a league and normally in esports, when you see these teams that are so low on the scoreboard, you just don't expect anything from them.
Yeah.
And then DTQ turn up. That seems to be like this David and Goliath story where they turn up, they look towards Schoolburst, and the people shake their heads and say no, and they've proven us otherwise. And every single time, obviously, the expert here at Laughter just trying to shutter it down, 5-3, 5-2. Like everyone in chat agreed with you, and then suddenly, every single time, DTQ, they just blow that out of the water.
They're
literally, I mean, they blew one T49 literally out of the water with an Amarak. So yeah, it was incredible.
It's wonderful to see. It was like Alex when he used to try out to go to LANs. David against Goliath.
Really? Was
David
he Goliath
lost.
or David?
he was David and he lost. So stay true to kind of, at least how we normally see it in the WGL.
He's a big chap. I'm surprised he's David.
Did you just call him fat?
No, I think he's a big chap.
I'm a big chap.
Yeah.
It's the most British way of saying I'm a lovely human being.
That's it. Rotund.
I just don't see Alex as David in any situation. I'd see Sean as David.
Yeah. Natty little guy,
Yeah, pipsqueak.
Yeah, pipsqueak. Oh, bless him.
I haven't heard that word in a while. It's a great word. I'm going to use that in my back cap.
It is quite true. In most other games, it's very rare you see someone from the very bottom of the league able to challenge at the very top. Yeah. However, DTQ are proving that they are a force to be reckoned with. And we're going to see if it comes true once again that they can overturn the odds and take it all the way. Currently, it is a 4-4 scoreline. It was tied all even, head-to-head. I'm not going to say the other end because I messed that up last time. But it's been unbelievable for DTQ so far. If only they'd done that slightly earlier in this season, they could have maybe avoided the position they're in currently. However, picking up a win here would mean the world to them. Let's get into game and check this one out, see what happens. This is the design, ladies and gents. Hashtag WGLEU. Who does have this one in the bag? Is it DTQ? Is it WSD Gaming? In the north, in defense, it's WASD, the favorites here, the top 3 contender. And in the south, in blue, it's the underdogs, DTQ, taking it all the way on the attack. Can they follow this up? It's an all-in gamble again from DTQ. This could go wrong.
Oh, but I think they've done it correctly. They've put tanks at the back to stay defensive, and they've got that lower section as well, so they could get damage on the side. Clearly, WSD Gaming just wants to grow aggressive. They have found Panzer Hunter early on, but they haven't got the positional advantage for now.
No, indeed, and WSD Gaming going to really stress that point by pushing straight on through, leaving the other tanks for DTQ out of position. Nicholas Black once again on the receiving end. 3 shells, 4 shells, one more does the job. He goes down, and this may be the disaster DTQ were trying to avoid. And sadly now, all that early work may have just been undone.
Oh, but still, they can still get back into this game. No, they can't. The Killzor does land that T49 shell on the side of Mr. Chef, and Malzart trying to get in the equation. Doctor does get his own onto the Killzor, but still 2-tank advantage for WSD Gaming. Make that 3.
Indeed, Agorni getting a little bit of attention there, but look at these guys, they're getting decimated. Mouse goes down in a second. 3 now stand for DTQ against a team with so much more HP, and Cluj going down means it's 2, Doctor and 505, the last 2 standing. This would have to be a miracle if they pull this one through. Doctor does not have sustained fire, he has to back away. He's got to be careful of how long it takes to load those shells. And now 505 with an army coming towards him. The complete entirety of WSD Gaming looking to fold towards him. He gets one, he takes one, he's going for this as much as they can. Doctor knows this is not going to go well. 1.4k damage, he's getting out of there, trying to find somewhere to run to. 505 tries to join, but hot on his heels is the entirety of WSD Gaming rolling in. 505 sacrifices himself to try and allow Doctor to get away, but holds himself, tries to take a shot, does get it, but it's too little, too late, and WSD Gaming just about picking it up in the final deciding round.
Takes the 2 points home with them. Not the exact result they wanted to, as DTQ does take a point as well. And that might actually slip them into that dangerous area where they couldn't qualify for that top 6.
Yep.
But I think they've just about done enough, and they still have a few more games to play. But they wanted those 3 points against Deep Tranquility, the bottom of the league, as you said, and they didn't get them.
Yeah, you'd think that was the easy pickup then. That should have been the one that they should have had. Not to be. So once again, the league does stay fairly close, fairly tied up here. So there's a lot to be played for. The rankings are going to be huge going forward in the next couple of weeks. We are coming towards the later end now of this season, and teams will be desperate for those 3 points to secure where they go in this one. At the moment, WSD Gaming just about sitting around where they should be. However, DTQ, bless them, still in last in this one, but it's all about that top 6 now.
Yeah, it's going to be about who actually secures themselves a position. Deep Tranquility, great job. They still got a few more games to get themselves out of that relegation, that automatic relegation place. And of course, Virtus Pro starting to forge themselves a big lead now with 22 points, a full 6 points clear of number 2 WSD Gaming. But WSD, I think they've just done enough to get themselves in a position. Of course, we didn't see GGL play versus Schoolbus, which we'll be seeing fairly soon. That would kind of give us an idea of, you know, who goes into that 3rd position or even that 2nd position, WSD or Schoolbus.
Yeah, a lot to still be seen, and of course the weight of that 1st and 2nd position will get you through generally to the 2nd day of a tournament, or at least to, I believe, is it playoffs or semi-finals?
It's
around
playoffs,
the
yeah.
So it's a huge step up there. You want to get those secured in. So a lot to be played for, still a lot up in the air. But it's enough from us, really. It's over to the social media man himself. Some may call him Melly. We call him Alex.
Team Alex.
Yeah, well,
Team Alex.
That wraps up today quite nicely, I think. I love the fact that DTQ is still challenging these teams. And, of course, guys, if you do want to check that out once more, if your friends missed it and you want to get them, make sure they can catch up with that one, do be sure to check it out on YouTube. I'm sure that VOD will be uploaded very shortly, of course, to give us time. It's going to be a pretty chunky video file. Other than that, though, on Twitter, you guys have been having fun. We have a Chef Marius saying that was a good revenge, good strategy from DTQ, but in the end, it just wasn't quite enough. So, fantastic performance in WASD. Of course, guys, one last time, do be sure to follow, of course, our Twitter page as well as our Facebook page. You'll be able to get updates all over from anything that's happening in the WGL EU scene. So do be sure to check them out. And check us out as well on social media. I am Alex Machine Richardson, and I do actually do other things around ESL.
We're not sure what.
I've run around. I like to cancel the games. Obviously, games that aren't nowhere near as good as World of Tanks.
True.
And other than that, I think we can safely say that we've had a good evening, and we hope to see you very shortly for more of Match Week 8.